walk on the other side.
Yeah, just basically you need to make everybody see that you're there. Whether it's your warning triangle, so you stop your car, put your hazard lights on, the orange ones, put all your lights on, not just the hazard lights, all your lights on, everything. Take your warning triangle, but it needs to go back up the road. A lot of people take this triangle from the boot of the car and then they put it here. If they haven't seen your car and the lights, they're probably not going to notice the triangle, so take it up the road. Also, if the accident is probably where that lamppost is, I would stop my car here. You've left room in front for emergency vehicles to come in. And also, when you park the car at an angle. I've actually, say this was a straight road, this car's sitting at an angle. When you drive along the traffic, and I sat with Pavel the other day for 2 or 3 hours, just lots of cars, everyone's this straight line of traffic. If you see a car that's at an angle, instantly you can see that it's stationary, because cars don't drive along like that. So it stands out, whereas a car that's parked straight, you don't always notice that it's not moving, because you can't, there's no perspective. So park at an angle. If by chance somebody coming along, they miss your triangle, or Katya is there sort of waving, you know, dark clothes, maybe not such a good idea, but if you've got like a bright red top, you could take this off, wave it, or use a torch, something just to, so you're there. But if they miss that and they hit the back of your car, the car's going to go out. If it's straight, the car could come forward into where you are. Anything else you use to throw at it will go straight through the car, and all the glass goes in as well. The other good thing with this tool, it's got a ring to go on a zip, but when you pull it off, there's a blade in there inside the handle. I'll pass it around, you can have a look. It's for cutting seat belts, and that tool is actually designed for you to carry inside the car, which is why I keep it on me, so that if you crash, you can cut your own seat belt, pop your own window and get out of a car in a crash, because they're not easy to break. You can't kick it out or anything like that. So that's a rescue tool. It's a good little thing to carry. Now we get into the car, we still have more things to think about safety wise. We need to turn the engine off, turn the ignition off, put the handbrake on, because I know Olga already did this, but when somebody has a crash, just as they hit that other car, that other tree, they don't turn the engine off and put the handbrake on. They're going. So we need to make sure it's safe. What other danger do we have now we're inside the car? One more danger you may or may not be aware of inside the car. So I need to come in the car. We still need to do this check for danger inside the car. Response. Raphael, can you hear me? Can you hear me? But we talked yesterday about mechanisms of injury. What injuries are we worried about, particularly with car accidents?
Neck, cage, neck.
Yeah, head, neck, spine. So do I want to get in there and go, Raphael? And his head's like this. So try and keep them still. So come in. Can you hear me? Maybe pinch him. No catastrophic bleeding. What's next on the list? Airway. So I now come in, put my head in here, and as I'm in there, looking in his mouth, bang, the airbag goes off. Because sometimes they can go off after the accident for no reason. So I've got my head in here, the airbag goes off, me and Raphael, we become one. Raphael gets slightly younger, and I become slightly grey-haired. So we met, and there's actually been firefighters, paramedics, police officers in different places around the world have all died because they've been in this space when the airbag's gone off, and they've basically it'll crunch the trigger. Okay, what to do with the airbag is not put yourself in this space. So I'm going to check Raphael. I'm going to look in his mouth from here.
So that would look like a photo. So they feel that something is in there.
This?
Is there any sensors here?
No, there's no sensor. These go off when the car slows down very quickly on deceleration. There's a switch and the airbag fires. Now that may have fired, but the airbag didn't actually go off. So then it can just go off for some reason. It may be because the wire that goes to the airbag has been cut through by some metal and it shorts out and it sends a signal and sets it off.
So you cannot avoid or turn off this function. You
can
just
turn
don't
off the
put
passenger
yourself
one
on this
for
area.
if you have a child seat. You know, if you have a baby seat in the front of the car, you can turn these off sometimes, but don't. All you can do is just don't go in this space. But we can do everything we need from the side. What about though if I look in here and he's got a mouthful of blood, he's sitting there choking on blood.
Apparently tipping forward.
Cage trauma. Cage trauma.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
But what are you going to do if you
we need to drain his airway because he's maybe slumped back
What is
like
it?
this, he's choking on blood. Now, tipping him sideways or turning his head doesn't really work. We need gravity. So I would come from the side, I'd put my hands properly on. And from here, he's in danger, I'm not. And then I get hold of his clothes, I haven't got your skin, have I? And then I pull him forward.
And then the bag goes off.
If it does,
He's not going to be any dead.
he's going to sit back very quickly. He's going to go, but I'm not injured. It's going to make me jump, but at the end of the day, if I don't drain his airway, what will happen?
He'll die.
He'll die. If I tip him forward, the airway clears. Potentially it's going to go off, but that's always a risk. But at least we've cleared his airway. There's nothing else you can do. So we drain his airway. What do we do after airway? Breathe in. I can check for breathing from the side. Hands on his stomach. Feel for movement. What do I do if he's not breathing?
CPR.
Yeah.
CPR.
We
In
must
here?
take out.
No.
Take out.
Take
Yeah.
him out.
Pull him out.
Well,
Okay, so I would just pull him out onto the ground, start CPR.
and how we can pull him out?
We'll do that in a minute. I should have picked somebody smaller. No, you're okay, I'm joking. We can get someone out. I'll do that in a moment. It's not easy getting people out of a car. If I just grab his hands, he's going to just fall here. So I'm going to try and lift him a bit, but I'll do it in a while. As a golden rule, leave people in cars in car accidents. Even if we weren't about this airbag, if he's sat back, he'll be safe. You'll see the video later, but he'll be safe sat back. So leave people in cars unless there's a life risk, which in this case he's not breathing. Life risk?
Yeah.
Get him out. What if the car catches fire? Life risk?
Yeah.
Get him out. What if bad people come, rebels with AK-47s and machetes? Life risk? We get him out. Maybe, I mean, if he's one of our group, try and get him out into a vehicle. But what we say is if they're not breathing, if the car's on fire or under fire, we take them out. Other than that, we leave them in because there's no point to getting people out. But people do at accidents. Anybody who's been to India, he's choking. In India, if there's a car accident, people come straight up, open the door, pull them out and lay them in the road. They just do it. There's nothing, and you can't make them not do it. That's just what they do. It's a cultural thing. They just get everyone out of cars. They're worried about cars catching fire, explosions, all the things, so they just pull people out. But we don't need to take them out. Leave them in the car. What if Raphael was breathing? We leave him in there, then what do we do next?
Yeah. Check for checks for over traumas, legs or.
If he's breathing, the same as if it's a casualty out on the ground, we need to know if there's any other injuries. I'll issue you out. I was gonna rescue you.
One.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you this technique.
Pavel needs to be there.
Yeah. Then Oleg has to rescue.
To make it more difficult, yeah.
Okay. The technique I'm going to show you, I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm going to say it's easier than any other method. There is no easy method to. You can't just scoop someone up and lay them out. You have to sort of drag them. If I take, just stay relaxed for me. if I tried to sort of get Dimitri's arms and pull him, his body weight is just going to fall onto the floor, and then I have to sort of drag like this. So what I'm going to do, forget the seatbelt now, sorry, the airbag, because I'm doing this because there's a danger. He's not breathing, car's on fire, people are shooting, it's right, out. So we forget the danger to some extent. So I'm going to literally just pull him forward. I'm then going to pull him over to the side, come underneath his arms, I'll show you this in a minute, get his hands across his chest, okay, just stay relaxed.
Никогда в жизни не видел с такой скоростью.
So, at no stage did I actually lift his body weight. I don't know, can I just borrow you again? Just stand there. So I'm not picking him up, I don't know what he weighs. If I tried to actually pick him up, even though he's not that heavy, it's probably going to be quite hard work. But I come underneath the arms, hold the top of his wrists across his chest, and then I'm pulling him until he becomes floppy. So although I'm supporting his body weight, I'm not lifting him. And then drag. I'm not going to take him out of the car. Pavel, you're my challenge. Trust me, Pavel.
This is new attraction. What was the behind me?
There's some grooves like
За ботинки.
Now, obviously, even though I'm like the British Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would struggle to get these bigger guys out from the car. However, we're just in a lesson. What would you have on your side?
An adrenaline rush.
Yes. Adrenaline that can cause you problems. When that comes on fire, people start shooting, you get a new shot of adrenaline, and I would probably pick Pavel up and run with him. But the point is, you would have that adrenaline would help you. Okay.